Welcome to Opus Clip Insiders. I'm Emmett Short, creative director at Opus Clip. In this episode, I'm kicking things off with the dynamic duo behind the Let's Talk Like Men podcast, Rex Howard Jr. He's a relationship and sex therapist.
We took the full video that we have, Opus spit out 32 clips. I was like, oh, this is amazing. We're going to post 3 times a day, every single day.
And Miles Harris, a youth motivational speaker and best-selling author.
It's the shorts that give the growth. We want to get as many attempts to swing as possible. And if we just hit one out of the park, it's going to lead to a lot of growth.
They give away their strategy and best practices for how using short video clips with Opus Clip has supercharged their podcast, built a thriving community, and boosted their income while giving their other businesses a serious lift. How many episodes did you have at this time?
We only had 8 at that time. We're at 40 now. It's grown 35,000 followers, and it's because of Opus.
We've had videos that have gone over 1 million views and gotten thousands of followers off of that.
So stick around if you're ready to uncover some insider tips that could transform your digital strategy. Everybody's talking about you. We're really excited that you guys are having a success and using Opus Clip to do it. But before we get into all that, I just kind of want to know a little bit more about you guys. Like, you know, why did you start this specific podcast? What brought you to podcasting? You know, what's the strategy behind it? And, you know, a little bit about you guys, how you met, stuff like that. But either of you can start.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, guys, I'm Rex Howard Jr., relationship and sex therapist, also personal development coach. So I met Miles in college. I went to Tennessee State University for my first 2 years, and he went to Fisk University. And we pledged the same fraternity, right? And we kind of lived the same type of life with the girls and with the fun and with the party. So we were on the same type of lifestyle. And then once I decided to go get my master's in counseling, which is in 2020, I decided to shift my focus to be a relationship coach slash preparing myself to be a therapist. So I started posting about relationships. And then I noticed my boy Miles was posting the same content. And we reached out to each other one day and said, hey, man, you're posting the same thing I'm posting the same thing you're posting. We know each other. How about we go ahead and get this bad boy started? So I said, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. So he was like, what will we call it? And I remember with my fraternity, how we used to have interest meetings. We used to call it Let's Talk Like Men. And we used to get a whole bunch of guys interested in the frat, and we used to sit around a circle and have a conversation. And I said, you know what? I'm graduated, so let's call it Let's Talk Like Men. So we started that bad boy back in 2020. We recorded in his bedroom. All right, the first 8 episodes recorded in his bedroom. We did it the hard way. So we put all the clips. I used to take the clips from YouTube, screen record it, take 15 to 30-second clips, and then I used to post them. And we'll go back and forth. And then 2024 rolls around. He had moved away. Then he finally moved back to Texas and said, Rex, I'm back. How about we start this bad boy again? And then I remembered, I said, I have a buddy. He has his own podcasting studio right down the street. And I called him. He said, Rex, pull up. Like, I'll show y'all the studio. We get y'all started. Miles fell in love with the studio. I fell in love with the studio. And then Miles had recently heard about Opus with one of his guys. And he was like, Rex, I have this platform that we can use. It's going to cost us like $168 for the year, but I promise you it's worth it. So we took the full video that we had for the very first episode. We dropped it in there. Opus spit out 32 clips. We played around with it. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to post 3 times a day, every single day. And
wow. How many episodes did you have at this time?
And we only had 8 at that time.
Okay,
We're
wow.
at 40 now. So for every week since February, we've been posting. We do 1 episode a week, but we do 2 to 3 clips a day. And we went from, on Instagram, we had 45 followers. On TikTok, it was non-existent. And on YouTube, we had 25 subscribers. But from that point, so from February to now, we've grown 35,000 followers.
Wow.
Across all of our platforms. And it's because of Opus.
So 35,000, but that is split between what, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's so good. And the speed, I was going to say February 2024.
Yeah.
That's so fast. Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so obviously you could tell specifically that it was the shorts that were driving the growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. We only post shorts.
So you don't have available your long form content anywhere?
We post our strategy is this: Fridays we'll post the full length episode long form on all platforms that we're on, right? So
Yeah.
YouTube gets a full video and audio episode. Spotify gets the visual as well as the audio because they have the capabilities that you can, upload your full video on there now. Apple Podcast, all the podcast platforms get it as well. But starting that Friday, we start putting out 2-3 clips per episode for the next 7 days until we drop the next episode. And so it's the shorts that give the growth, right? Because beforehand, if it was the videos that were giving the growth, you would see that the majority of the views are coming from a long form video and then translating to your social media follows. But it's actually the opposite. You're getting all this engagement on social media and all these views on social media. And we set it up connected with some other products to where it would auto link it from the short video to the long form video if they would comment something, and it would send them a direct link to the episode that they wanted to see. So we ran this strategy using Opus to where it's like, yo, we're going to use Opus to produce this content. It's going to give us a bulk load of short clips. We're going to upload them because the way we looked at it is almost like a batting average. In baseball, you're considered great if only 30% of your at-bats are successful.
Yeah.
You have a 300 batting average. That's really good.
Yeah.
And so that was our exact thought process as well, was we want to get as many attempts to swing as possible. And if we just hit one out of the park, it's going to lead to a lot of growth. And so ever since then, we've had videos that have gone over 1 million views, short form content that's gone over 1 million views, and gotten thousands of followers off of that.
And so then when you get one of those shorts that goes big, you can obviously probably then tell, like in the data for your long form video, that you could see that that's working. You get a spike.
Exactly. It happens all the time, right? And the beauty of it is because of how these algorithms work on the short form platforms. It's not like how it used to be, because of being chronological in the past. Once a day or two has passed or something, you might not ever see it again on your feed. It might not come across anybody's feed anymore. But now, because it's based on engagement and relevance and whoever is really reacting to it, it's constantly popping up on more and more and more new people's feeds months after it went viral.
Yeah.
So we have videos that literally go through cycles. They'll be the most popular video one month, and then the next month they might not get as much engagement, and then they'll pop back up as being one that's running on a certain platform. Like, oh, TikTok is running this particular video, and it just got 200,000 today, even though it was posted 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's the beauty, because Opus allows us to get this short form out. It actually lives and continues to push the long form content well after we're done posting about that episode.
And a great thing is that your content is very evergreen. So those things can come back around many times. Have you noticed any correlation with Opus, like choosing topics for you? And, we give you a virality score. So have you noticed any correlation between the videos that, do well, or even, have staying power or come back around, that's correlated to the virality score?
Absolutely. So typically, like I said, we'll start I'll go in, he'll say, Rex, do me a favor, go in and like the clips that you're a part of. I'll say, okay, cool. And then I'll go in and like mine. But we'll start at the very top and we'll go all the way down to the bottom. But we notice that the top 5, the top 10 are the ones that go the viral the most.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. That's good to know. Hey, good feedback for the team.
Yeah.
How often are you guys, you look at them and you're like, it's perfect, no editing needed. And how often do you go in and, sweeten it up?
So Miles deals with a lot of the editing, but I will say 9 times out of 10, especially like the last 5 to 6 weeks, I feel like my videos needed 0 touches.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll look at them like, oh, these are hits. These are absolute hits. Or I'll say, let me add in 1 or 2 more sentences because it cut me off. And I'm okay with being cut off, but sometimes we've got a lot of controversy in our comments because they didn't hear a complete thought. But 9 times out of 10, the videos for me, they're great.
I'll say this. Because I'm the one that's doing the majority of the editing on those clips, there are definitely times where I don't have to touch it at all, but I'm very particular. So it's not that Opus itself isn't giving me a ready-made clip. They're ready to go. but I purposefully tweak certain things to fit certain if I know that, okay, if I add in this one point right here, I know that the community is going to respond really sensitive about this. And I
Yeah.
want them to respond sensitive about this because I want this engagement. I want people to share it and get to talking about it. So I'll go in and I may add the line right before it. Or I'll come in, Opus got 90%. It got the meat of everything that needed to be heard. But I remember from the episode that about 5 minutes before we said a particular line that's connecting to what's about to happen now, let
Yeah.
me go add that in. But that actually brings me to a different point and something that I think is the best part about Opus, outside of the fact that it's created, so much efficiency, is the fact that whoever is on your development team, they are listening and they're paying attention to what the users want. Because when we first started, I loved Opus, but there were certain things that I had to figure out a workaround for, or had to do a lot of extra manpower on my end to figure out. Now they have literally everything I used to complain to Rex about and say, man, I just wish Opus would allow us to do this. Every last one of those things is now an actual functionality that and feature that is in Opus, and it makes my life so easy. When we were doing these episodes 3-4 years ago in 2021, it would take just to get one clip out at least 45 minutes to an hour for
Yeah.
one clip that was going to be 30 to 60 seconds because
Yeah.
we'd have to screen record what video we want. Matter of fact, before that, we'd have to go watch the whole episode,
Exactly.
write down where we felt were the good moments. And
Yeah.
because it took so long, I was like, dude, you pick 3, I'm going to pick 3.
Yeah.
That's all we got. This is
Yeah.
going to take forever. So you're talking about 6 hours of post-production just to get 6 60-second clips.
Yeah.
That
Right.
wasn't efficient. So now I'm able to get 32 clips in 20 minutes once it's done loading. And my post production is maybe an hour just because I'm posting 21 clips. So
Yeah.
you're talking about maybe 3 to 5 minutes per clip if it needs editing.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's nothing that matches it.
And you're posting, did you guys say 3 times a day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. And that's thank you for acknowledging the team, and they will hear about this. And one thing you guys might not know about is something I was helpful in asking for, but also in designing a little bit is we just launched keyboard shortcuts. So
Mhm.
have you played around with it yet?
I have.
Okay, yeah, I was sort of the ones that designated what was what, because these are I've been an editor for a long time,
Mhm.
like 15 years. And so I added my shortcuts in. So, D to split the clip, 1 to go to the beginning, all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
We're going to add in Q and W ripple delete soon. It's not there yet. Backslash to see the whole timeline. Arrow keys to go frame by frame now, so you can get precise.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go precise, get frame by frame precision on your cut points. So left and right arrow. Yeah, try that out. So that was actually another question I was going to ask. So Rex said he was, a therapist. That's what he was trained in for college. What is your background, Miles?
I was a business major in college, and I worked in IT as a project manager for a healthcare company when I graduated. I'm now a full-time motivational speaker and a best-selling author, and I deal with young adults and men with their mindsets. So that's why Let's Talk Like Men was such a perfect combination for both of
Yeah.
us, because we both had this calling and a passion to pour into the mindsets of the people in our generation. That's my background and how it correlates.
So neither of you are professional editors. And do you have any editors on your team, or
No,
are you
It's
guys
just
handling all of
us.
this yourself?
We do it by ourselves.
Okay. So, and do you use any other editing tools besides Opus?
Used to, don't need them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to use a lot of different things.
InShot.
In shot, you have to add in the different logos and Instagram logos and stuff. But now we don't do nothing else. But we take the long form, drop it in Opus, go from Opus, drop it on the platforms.
Okay.
Opus is your one-stop video editing software for your long-form content to produce short-form content. That's it. Like, we don't need CapCut anymore. We don't need InShot. We don't need Canva. We don't need any of these things anymore. And that's the beauty of it, is because it's priced so fairly in the first place. But for
Yeah.
people who may feel like, oh, I feel like that's a lot of investment because I have this and I have that. You're going to eliminate the cost for all those other platforms. You're not going to need it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, platforms and people, because you guys are able to do this
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
And let's look at it this way. If we, well, not even if, when we're at the point to where we start bringing on other team members, guess what we're going to do? Team space in Opus, you can
Mm.
add team members.
Yeah.
This is your job. We're going to
Yeah.
teach you how to run this software. And it's already
Yep.
set up with so many things in place to where they can run with it. And so now when you do want to get to a point to where as a smaller podcast, you're growing and you want to put a system behind this and employees behind it, guess what? You already have your editing studio set up and ready to go for them to walk in and be able to run with it.
Yeah. That's great. So what was I going to ask? Now with this shorts strategy, just with a short strategy in general, being able to have this many clips go out that are, I'm sure, about many different various subjects, because you guys are talking about, I mean, I don't know, you can list them off, but relationship stuff, probably job stuff, probably just like men in society, male relationships, like
Yeah.
things like that. Right. So like, does posting all those different things and then seeing how they do, is that a good way for you guys to experiment with like what are the most popular topics that you guys can go, oh, hey, these things are getting a lot of a lot of attention, we could do a few more like this. Has that been helpful?
Of course, the world we live in, everybody wants controversy, right? So anything that's controversial is great. We notice that out of a lot of our followers, I would say about 65% are women. Even though it's let's talk like men, 65% are women. So anytime
Yeah,
we
they want
hold
the
men
secret.
accountable, exactly.
Exactly.
Anytime we hold men accountable, they show up and they absolutely love it. But when we hold them accountable, that's when numbers kind of
They go down.
that's when numbers kind of drop.
Well, don't let that, guys, hey, even though you're learning how to get clicks, but you're doing, you're doing the world a service here.
Oh
So
yeah.
stick to your guns, guys, is all I'm saying.
Absolutely. We don't let that phase us, right? Because at the end of the day, we believe that, and this is something me and Rex talk about. This is God's favor that's shining upon us, and we're
Yeah.
doing a purpose. We're fulfilling a purpose and a mission. So we post what we believe is valuable, point blank, period. But we'd be lying if we say that we don't know exactly what our audience likes.
Okay.
We know at this point because of all these clips that we've been able to post. I can almost guarantee when a clip is about to get a lot of traction. I'll be like, hey, man, when we post this, what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Just get your mind ready because it's about to be a lot of drama in these comments when we say this particular thing that's going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah.
But, it has helped us in a lot of ways, even in our business development, because it's helped us identify the gaps and the pain points that people face, right?
Yeah.
Because what people react to, what people are triggered by, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
And so even in the development of different things that we have going on or the products that we want to launch, we know what is really valuable, because also even the clips that may not go viral, we're getting the DMs from people saying, dude, what you guys said here just changed my life,
Yeah.
right? Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok may be majority women, but our long form content on YouTube is where the men live.
Yeah.
So when we're posting shorts on YouTube and directing people to YouTube, what we find is, yes, women may like the short form content and share that and send it to their girlfriends and all that stuff. But the men really want the curriculum. They want the education. They want to be developed. And that's where the long form content comes in handy. And so now we know, okay, the men are really interested in this. This is
Yeah.
where men feel like their pain point comes in. So as business owners, it allows us to really understand what our audience struggles with, what really triggers them to act and really engages them. And so we can make more of that type of information to help them in those areas.
Right. And it's not just about, saying something and pandering to your audience. It's
Exactly.
Understanding what's going to draw them in. And really, because you just need it for the clicks. Once they're there, you can give them your really real opinion. I mean, that's what all these thumbnails and titles are about on YouTube, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the exact opposite of what you see in the actual video, because you're saying, oh, this guy, the world's ending. And then, you go, well, yes, there was a headline about the world ending, but as a matter of fact, if we do deeper analysis, we find out that the world is in fact not ending. And
Exactly.
so, it's still relevant. So you're using the clickbait strategy, but you're the voice of reason inside. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you could put a number on it. We've got real hard numbers for the growth. That's why you guys are such a good case study, because you essentially started from zero. So what is it? Practically 35,000 in, what is that? Like 10 months?
Yeah, I'd say 9 months.
9 months.
And you
Yeah.
really can't count October because our studio has been out of commission. They're moving.
Oh,
So we haven't posted new episodes this month.
so
So
like
all
8
this growth
months.
is
Yeah.
8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so how much money do you think you've made from the shorts versus the long form?
That's an area that we actually need more help in, right?
Yeah.
Because we'll say this, but I'm gonna be real with you. We have made money off of the shorts, primarily TikTok being a part of the creator fund.
Okay.
But one thing we noticed is it's almost as soon as you get in a part of the creator fund, it's like those videos don't get pushed as much anymore. But
Huh.
we've made over $1,000 in the past few months, doing creator fund videos. And that has helped us to be able to fund things. But it's interesting how it works. Go ahead, Rex.
Let me add this. Our focus was to build the audience,
Yeah.
right? But we never had a funnel in place.
Mm-hmm.
If you take our platform and you add a funnel to it, from this point forward, I would say at a minimum, $500,000 would have been made if
I
we would
got
have had the proper funnel in place. Because if you look at our analytics, our top month, we had over 2 million views. And we had that happen on a consecutive month basis. But once again, we didn't have any funnels. We didn't have any tiers. We didn't have any subscriptions. Hell, we were barely selling anything. We just wanted the views to go up. And
Yeah.
then we got the views. We were like, all right, now it's time for us to put some business in tech.
Right.
Yep.
So you've proved out that this is a surefire way to get the traffic from and build the
Yes.
community that you want to build. So it's still, so that's, and it's only been 8 months. So yeah, we'll have to check back with you guys in a few months, in another 8 months, to see after you've put things in place, products and funnels and things, how well that's going for you. I'm sure it's going to go well.
Oh,
And
it's
I'll
gonna
also
be
add
nice.
this. There are certain things that you can't put a price tag on that are going to pay off monetarily in the future.
Yeah.
One of those things is the rooms that we've been able to enter into because
Yeah.
of the consistency in our posting. People take us way more serious. So when we tell people, "Oh, we have a podcast," everybody's, "Oh, everybody has a podcast."
Right.
Then they follow us, and then they're like, every single time I open up my phone, I see you guys, like, you guys are
Yeah.
serious. And then they see the quality of the content. And when they see consistency and quality of the content, the next thing that happens is they're like, let me actually pay attention to this message.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, these guys, they know what they're saying, and they're putting out some really good stuff. And so we've gotten opportunities to be amongst some of the top creators in the world
Yeah.
because of our platform. And Rex can speak to that just as much as I can, but it has opened doors for us to be in the rooms with top executives at other firms, and they're like, yeah, we've seen what you guys are doing. Like, you're on our radar. Don't even worry about it. Like, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Within the next year, things are about to go to a whole different level, right? And then when you talk about from a product marketing and influencer perspective, we're on these different platforms now where you can sign up for campaigns to market products. We just had one reach out to us yesterday and say, hey, we want to move forward with you guys to market this product. And this has been our first month really trying for that. So the reason why the numbers from a monetary perspective may not align right away with the follower count is simply because we hadn't gone down that route yet. That wasn't our focus.
Yeah, it's early.
And now that we're moving and pivoting towards that, we've already seen returns on our investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been possible with having to, you'd probably be in debt somehow with hiring an editor, or have no, free time to do anything else in your life if you had to spend all that time editing and creating those in a different way.
100%. We flow based off our systems in place. So even at our podcasting studio, we show up and we record and we leave. he sends us the videos within 48 hours already done. So we don't do anything but to show up. And with our clips, we get the clips, we post, we get them, we look at them. I like mine, he likes his. We make small edits and we post. It takes minimal effort. But when we used to take hours to make the videos, it took away from our creativity because we were too busy working on the thing. But now all we gotta
Right.
do is show up and talk, and that's what we're good at doing.
And
We're
you can spend time
yappers.
thinking about the subject matter.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We focus on where the show is going. We focus on the impact that we can make. And we don't have to focus on the numbers. We don't have to focus on the amount of clips that are posted. We don't have to focus on the minute details. We just do the work and let Opus work for us. And then life is good. And I can guarantee you, Let's Talk Like Men would not be at the place that it's at if it was not for us signing up for Opus. Bottom
Right.
line. I think we would have barely had a couple thousand followers, if that, at this point. And we might have been in a place where we were so burnt out that maybe
Right.
we would have been like, man, I don't know if we should continue doing this. And that plagues so many shows
Yeah.
because you have so much, either you have cost because you're sending it to a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork to edit your clips for you, right? And then what I figured out once I found Opus and I started looking into this, I said, this is what these guys are using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
charging people $5-10 for a 60-second clip that you make for them, but you're taking their video and throwing it in here.
Right.
Yeah.
I know what you guys are doing. And
Guilty.
now it gives me leverage. We have leverage to tell them, like, hey, look, we understand the game. So if we can do it for ourselves and save ourselves the money and the time, we don't have to go to an editor that can take advantage of us and charge us 500% markup for something that we can do for ourselves with Opus.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. So, and would you take me through your workflow a little bit? Because I know you guys have like some best practices with what you do with your clips. So
Yeah,
how do you take me through your workflow, how you use Opus for it, and what you make sure to add in every clip and things, and so maybe
absolutely.
some features, some more like editor, based features that you're happy with in Opus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we get our completed episode and we upload it into Opus, immediately once those clips are available and we get that email notification that new clips are ready, I text Rex off to the side. Hey man, clips are in for the new episode. Go in and like the clips that you like. We know we're going to have 30 clips here. Between the two of us, we're going to find at least 7, 8, 9 clips a piece that we like.
Mhm.
Based on the ones that he likes and based on the ones that I like, I go in then and I see what needs to be altered, if anything. The beauty of Opus is because we already have put our brand template into our particular dashboard, we already have our like, comment, and subscribe call to action in the corner on every single video.
Really? Oh,
So
man.
we don't have to add a call to action on the caption somehow in the middle of it. So that's already in the template for the overlay.
Your
We
logo,
put a
all that,
watermark.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. We put a watermark on all our videos. Our videos go so viral that we don't know all the places they're posted until
Yeah.
somebody randomly that we know sends it to us like, hey, you guys popped up on my feed on this person's page that has 2 million followers.
Yeah.
And they haven't even tagged us in the video, but they didn't have to. Because the overlay that we have not only has the call to action, but it has a watermark that says at Let's Talk Like Men podcast.
Nice.
So now people, when they use our content, they can't run with it without getting us credit, even if they don't tag us. So we get our clips already ready to go. So I go in, I make sure that if there's any lines that we need to add before or after, if there's things that we need to decrease. The things that I'm looking for, and this would be best tips for people out there, is you want to make those clips between, I'd say, 45 seconds to a minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Because anything after that, you may start to lose people, and anything before that is going to be too short sometimes for people to really get value, right? But more so than that, and this is before you get into like a creator fund or anything like that, stories are your best friend. Anytime you are selling a story or telling a story in a clip, people want to hear that because it provides transparency. It provides a level of relation to them to where they're like, I see how that correlates to something that's happened in my life.
Yeah.
So I always try to find ways that we can incorporate a story, and Opus is great at capturing stories. I feel like it's written in the algorithm. When you see this person say, I remember when,
Yeah.
make sure you flip it, right? And so we capture a lot of those stories. And make sure that we give people something that's under a minute and a half max. And then go in and we put the subtitles. That's one of my favorite features, is that you guys added the ability to put the headers and the body captions on there. So I have my auto captions already on there. I go in. I used to have to download, maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago. I would have to download that video once I had it post edited, go into Instagram, upload it, and then type in what I wanted the header of the video to be.
Right.
Now I can do it in Opus. So
Yeah.
I don't have to leave Opus to do that. That was one of my gripes. I wish this was in here that I could do that. Then once I have everything the way I want it to look, now the thing that I love the most is the auto scheduler.
Yeah.
Having the ability to not have to go to multiple platforms when it's time to post. There were so many times to where we would put up 3 posts a day, and we have posting windows, 8:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., and 5:30 p.m. There were so many times where it's like, oh, dang, I'm busy right now. I'm not going to be able to post this till 9. Or I have to send it over to Rex that day. Like, man, can you take the post for today? Because I'm going to be out busy today. Can you post these? This is the order. I'm typing up the captions. Too much to do. Just a level of inefficiency. Now, when I go to the auto scheduler, I'm able to not only schedule when I want it to post, I'm also able to say where I want it to post and when, and I can type my captions and my hashtags in there. It took away every single thing that I have to go to another platform to use. I don't have to leave Opus anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we go in and we will bulk schedule those posts out for the entire week. So once we're done on, let's say Thursday night, I'm done. Every clip is liked and we're good to go. Friday, the episode uploads. I'm not touching my phone or my laptop to edit a post or worry about a post going up the entire rest of the week.
Nice.
I
And
don't have
that
to worry
took you,
about
and that took you, you said before, I think like an hour or
about an hour. If it's a lot, maybe 2 hours to do.
yeah.
But I'll take that 2 hours out of the entire week to have my show good to go.
Yeah. Three a day. Wow.
I'll take that.
That's great. Okay. So that's very cool that you don't have to, like, because of the template, it's like all those things are just baked in already. And all you really have to do is individual headers for like, for whatever, not the auto captions, but the individual header that you want for each clip. And did you know that now, and I'm wondering if you guys would use this, there's going to be the ability to, actually, I think it's up. A certain percentage of people have it, to upload footage. So you can upload media. So if you had, like, let's say a call to action as a video at the end, like even a 5-second, graphic that you made, let's talk like men, visit, blah, blah, blah. You could upload that and tag it onto the end of every one. Yeah.
We had one, and that's the funny thing. In the past, we used to do that. We would go and have to manually post it to the end of it.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect that we can do that, and that'll work great not only for bringing people to the show, but when we have programs that we're running, communities that we're building, that'd be easy. Is this something that we can have that lives in
our
our
upload once and it would be there?
Asset library?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Our team is really adding features at a lightning pace.
We know. you guys, like me and Rex talked about this a million times. Like, Opus is on the route to be your one-stop shop for all things video creation.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
Well,
dude, I've taken up enough of your guys' time. You guys have given me a lot of good stuff. So I just want to say thanks for doing that. And I hope you guys have continued success. I'm sure you will. I've watched a bunch of your clips, and it's good. It's good stuff. It's good, clean and wholesome, manly stuff.
We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for watching Opus Insiders. I hope you learned something useful. Check out the description for info on our guests and consider subscribing to get notified when the next episodes go live. Have a great day. Cheers.